time to defend himself because he is jealous over the Corinthians. He loves them. He is afraid they will be beguiled by Satan, just as Eve was beguiled by his subtlety. Paul knows that Satan works, so your mind should be uh, corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ. That concludes that section. Now let's move on to the next section, which is section verses 4 through 6. For if he that cometh preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit which ye have not received, or another gospel which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him. We still face the problem today of the preaching of another Jesus, another spirit, another gospel. Some time ago, there was a musical production called Jesus Christ Superstar, which denies his deity and presents a Jesus who never lived. It is the Jesus of liberalism dressed in a new wardrobe, and the Jesus of liberalism never existed. If they deny the virgin birth of Jesus, they are talking about some other Jesus, not the Jesus Christ of the Bible. They do not believe that he performed miracles. They have a different Jesus in mind because the Jesus in the Gospels is the one who performed miracles. He is the one who died for the sins of the world, which they deny. They deny that he was raised from the dead bodily. They deny that he is the God man. Yet one of the oldest creeds declares that he is very good of he is very God of very God and very man of very man. If that is denied, then a different Jesus is being presented. Verse 5. For I suppose I was not a whit behind the very chiefest apostles. I would rate Paul as the number one apostle. He says he is not the least of the apostles. He wants these Corinthians to know that he is just as much an apostle as any of the others. Just because he came to them as a tent maker, and because he walked in the meekness and gentleness of Christ, does not mean that he is not an apostle. You see how Paul is forced to defend himself. Verse 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. Paul was a brilliant man, but he used simple language. There are two men who have had a great influence on my life. One was the scholarly man in Memphis, Tennessee, who taught in simplicity, and that's J. Vernon McGee and not me. I'm reading through the Bible by J. Vernon McGee. I never lived in Memphis, although Tim and Heather did, who taught in simplicity. The other was Dr. Harry A. Ironside, who was known as a simple preacher. He was a brilliant man, but he preached with simplicity. He put the cookies on the lower shelf where the the kiddies could get them. Simplicity was the method of Paul. Paul says that he was rude in speech. I think that he actually adopted the language that the Corinthians would understand, and I am of the opinion that it may have been a rather rude approach. However, Paul was a brilliant man. From his writings, I would judge that he had the highest IQ of any man who was walking on this